Look at this video of a tangled mess of microphone cables and intimidating audio mixer sliders moving up and down in a dark room. For years, this is exactly what we pictured when we thought about starting a podcast. We assumed we had to master complex audio engineering and buy a mountain of expensive gear. That heavy technical requirement creates a massive wall. When faced with the pressure of configuring software and treating a room for echoes, most beginners feel overwhelmed. The friction becomes so high that many people quietly abandon their podcast ideas before they even record a single word. But the landscape of audio production looks entirely different today. You no longer need physical soundproofing or complex mixers, because modern artificial intelligence software has stepped in to handle the entire traditional studio workflow completely on your behalf. Take a look at this sleek silver and black workspace featuring 3 glowing AI assistant avatars, guided by a vibrant red upward arrow. You can think of these avatars as your very own free virtual studio team. Instead of doing everything yourself, you now have a dedicated writer, an engineer, and an editor working for you in the cloud. When you stop trying to buy the perfect gear and start delegating the heavy lifting to these AI assistants, the heavy financial and technical walls completely disappear. You can launch a professional-sounding show using nothing but the laptop or smartphone you already own. The first obstacle in creating a podcast has nothing to do with microphones at all. It is staring at a blank page, trying to organize scattered thoughts into a structured, engaging episode that holds a listener's attention from start to finish. This is where you bring in the first member of your team, the writer. By using a tool like ChatGPT, you can bypass the blank page entirely. The AI can instantly generate clear episode outlines, draft full scripts, and write smooth transitions between your main talking points. To get the best results, you communicate with it the same way you would talk to a human assistant. You simply type a prompt that includes your specific topic, how long you want the episode to be, and the exact tone you want to strike, like asking for a 10-minute conversational guide on budget travel. By having your AI writer produce the initial draft, you transform the grueling process of writing into a much simpler task of editorial review. You save hours of drafting, leaving you with more energy to actually deliver your message. Once you have your script, the next worry is the sound quality. There is a persistent myth that you need to spend hundreds of dollars on a high-end microphone to avoid sounding like you are recording inside a tin can. This animated diagram shows how we solve that today. On the left is a silver and black waveform representing messy, chaotic audio, like the echo and hum of a normal bedroom. Now watch the red arrow push a clean, smooth, isolated waveform out from the static. This represents the work of your engineer, a tool like Adobe Podcast Enhance, which uses algorithms to isolate your voice and delete the room noise.
But what if you do not want to record your own voice at all? Watch our visual here as the clean waveform dynamically transforms into a glowing synthetic data pattern. This pattern represents a no-mic solution. AI text-to-speech tools like 11 Labs can read your script and narrate the entire episode on your behalf. If you are imagining a stiff, robotic answering machine voice, you will be surprised. Modern synthetic voices analyze the context of your script to figure out exactly where to take a natural breath, when to slow down the pacing, and how to inject human-like emotional inflection into the delivery. Studio-quality sound now comes from the software you use after you record, rather than the room where you stand. Ordinary phone recordings become professional when you run them through these digital cleanup tools. Now we arrive at the final hurdle, editing. In the past, this meant staring at a timeline on a screen, manually zooming in to snip out tiny slices of audio, and carefully aligning tracks so they sounded natural. To see how we bypass that, let's look at this animated diagram. We have a split screen showing a complex audio waveform on the left and a simple text document on the right, linked together by a red translation line. This represents your editor, a tool called Descript. It listens to your audio and automatically transcribes it into a standard text document. Watch the text document on the right. If you highlight a specific word and delete it from the text, the corresponding section of the audio waveform on the left seamlessly snaps together. You are cutting the audio simply by backspacing words on a page. It is incredibly efficient for cleaning up mistakes. Watch as every instance of and ah highlights in red across the text document. With a single click, they disappear simultaneously,
and you can see the audio timeline shrink to match. Because the software treats your audio like an email draft, you can edit your show at the speed of thought. You do not need a single hour of audio engineering training to put together a perfectly paced final cut. Let's review the workflow we've built at zero cost. You organize your ideas with ChatGPT, you record your voice on a smartphone and clean it with Adobe Podcast, and you edit the final cut by reading text into script. Once the episode is finished, there is a bonus phase, marketing. To get people to listen, you need promotional materials, and tools like Opus Clip or Cast Magic act as your dedicated marketing team. You upload your finished audio, and these tools scan the conversation to find the most engaging moments. They automatically extract those highlights, add captions, and export them as short vertical videos ready for social media. Instead of spending days cutting promo clips and writing descriptions, you drop in one core piece of content and receive a full promotional campaign in return. The specialized gear and technical training that used to stop people from starting are now built directly into these apps. With the tech side automated, the only thing left to provide is an idea worth sharing.